Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you are watching the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for
your
short.
daily dose of geek news,
gadget.
Let me try that again.
Product
views
and answers that you can use.
Changing it up if only because I don't have a chance to show gadgets every day, but I show products all the time, and not all products are gadgets. Either way, you should not be disappointed at all because I am here at 11 p.m. at night after traveling for the past few hours. Originally, I had scheduled this live broadcast in the middle of the afternoon and realized that wasn't going to happen. So here I am, just before midnight, giving you a daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. I don't know if I really have a lot of products, though. Today, I am a little tired, and to top it off, I'm topping myself off with a nice extra stout. Let me go ahead and thank the people who helped make this possible. The patrons, all 476 of them at this point. Thank you for doing what you do so that I can do what I do for the rest of you. 476 people said, yes, Chris, I like your stuff. I mean, I appreciate all the likes, comments, shares, and of course subscriptions. Watching all our videos. But being a patron to me, that's telling me that you really value me to the point where you just cannot imagine a day without me. Okay, that is kind of sad. No, it's not. Don't be sad. If I am your friend, I'm happy to be your friend over the internet. There is some news surrounding that today. Not being a friend. The web celebrating its 25th anniversary or birthday. Not the internet, because the web is a part of the internet. Some people get the two confused. Don't want to go into that too deeply at this point. Let me just go ahead and scroll through the list of companies and people to thank me for being able to do this. By the way, if you ever wanted to meet face to face, Vlogger Fair is happening in August 16th in the Seattle area. And I just learned today it's looking like I may be going to San Francisco in a week. What would it be? March 18th and 19th for GDC. I've been asked to participate in something there, and you will hear more details. I do plan on live streaming, and of course figuring out TLDR around the travels as well. But there may be a chance if you are a Bay Area Nome and you want to get together. Stay tuned for more details on that. So let me also before I dive into everything that came floating across my radar. I have to find a better saying. Sometimes I say came across my desk, floating across my radar. I need something more punchy. So if you guys have an idea of how I can punch that up, things that I've learned over the past, new discoveries. Anyway, before I go into that right now, doing late night live video stream hosting can be fun. If you're alone, it's more fun when you're with a friend Jerry or Barnacle. I think we got like 1,200 likes on that video. Insane. I'll be live streaming with him in the next couple of weeks. This live broadcast was also brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. By Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. You can share the same screen and see each other in HD video conferencing. Start hosting a GoToMeeting in seconds from your mobile device by signing up for a free 30-day trial. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click the try it free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. And then participate in our giveaway where you can meet with me in a GoToMeeting for 30 minutes. We upload the video to this channel. If you ever wanted to do a video conference with me. We posted details on that already. Last Friday's broadcast, and we'll post again in this Friday's broadcast. So, nothing really earth-shattering today, other than traveling and being generally tired and still wanting to tell people. Oh, audio is echoing. Hang on. I gotta mitigate. Why is audio echoing? Hang on.
This is what happens when you... Okay, is audio echoing now? I knew I was too tired to do this. Okay, everybody who's watching live, I've got to give them like 30 seconds to catch up. Is it echoing now? Okay, sorry. Okay, I don't really want to continue with the broadcast. I'm just going to say, until I find out from the people watching whether or not the echo has now been mitigated. Oops. Wicket, when we came home, apparently has learned to scale baby fences. I was shocked to find him on the other side of the fence. But at least we now might know. Oh boy. This is going to be a fun 20 minutes. At least we would know if there's an accident upstairs that it was likely Wicket and not my dad. Sometimes Dad leaves random poops on the floor. It's really concerning. It happens when you get older. You ready for that, Diana? Yeah. Because that's where I'm headed. Just look right up there, that chair. That's me in 2 years. Echo still? Oh, God, please. Sometimes I hate YouTube's commenting system. Dad, I need you to do something. I need you to load the live stream. You don't know where you're going. Give me a minute. I'm going to... Hey, baby, can you get into my... I am going to do a product review. Can you get into my knapsack of wonders and pull out the headphones that I was using earlier? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an audio preview on this live stream. I'm going to live troubleshoot. You wonder why... Hang on, Dad. What?
I got a picture on my...
Dad just unlocked his phone for the first time. Diana and I did a custom background wallpaper for him when he wasn't looking when we were taking the ferry back to Seattle. People say it's better, it's fine now, it's good. Okay, fine. Good. Thank you, Dad. You can't tell though, because you were gonna try. You don't have the URL. Dad's not a patron yet. Patrons get the live URLs, and again, thank you for this. This is my product view tonight. It's the Jabra Revo headset. I use these pretty much anywhere and everywhere. Very, very comfortable. Not noise cancelers, but they do support Bluetooth. I usually just connect them in a wired capacity. There's also a little button, so if I'm using, say, my iPhone, I need to pick up the phone or hang it up, I can just press the button instead of fumbling for the software. And they're really with me wherever I go when I travel. These are my choice for headphones right now. I am not an audiophile at all. To me, it's comfort and, yeah, quality, certainly, but I don't expect the world when it comes to headphones like some people do. Headphones can be really expensive, and I found these to be right around the price that I would be willing to pay. They did send them to me, but it was only after I had done my research and, had talked to them and said, these are really, really interesting. I would, if you could, send me a pair. Would love to highlight them. And not only did I highlight them highlight them last year, I've continued to wear them. You've seen them pop up in Pirillo vlogs. This is the first time you'll see them in TLDR. The only thing I don't like is it's the cord that just you gotta wind around, figure out what to do with these damn cords and cables. I know, I could use Bluetooth, but I don't at this stage. So no echo, we are good to go. I was going to say something along the lines of, as I'm putting together my plans for the coming years and TLDR and what I do for you, it's not, I hesitate to say, adding a bit of professionalism to what I do, but part of our campaign, this overall campaign, is not just going to be for me, right? So I have people that, believe it or not, help me on a regular basis do the things that I do so that I can do them better. Not just the patrons, but I have a small team. I want to grow that team. I want to be able to do live broadcasts better so that instead of me having to be the director, producer, troubleshooter, talent, everything, I can build that team around me. And the only easy way of doing that, not just the only easy way of doing that, the only stable way of doing that is specifically using a Patreon-type campaign, basically allowing crowdfunding to boost me from point A to point B, because you just can't count on advertising and sponsorship every single week, every single day, like you can the patrons, and you guys are very, very appreciated. So now that I've burned through 9 minutes of your life, oh man, someone's getting it still?
I don't hear any.
I thought, yeah, but you're not. You're in the same room, Dad. Hang on, folks. No. I'm not hearing an echo at all. I'm not hearing an echo. So someone's delayed. I'm not hearing an echo, so everything should be fine, at least at this stage in the game. There we go. All right, so what was I saying about? I was talking about the web hitting 25 years, and if you want more information, really, and to provide context for where we should be in the next 25 years, head over to webwewant.org. The link for you, by the way, is in this video's description. And Tim Berners-Lee is suggesting a sort of, I don't want to say putting the internet in a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but the web is, to me, essential for the human condition today. I can't fathom getting along without the internet. I mean, for example, we just took a day trip. Actually, it was a 2-day trip. Very briefly, you'll see it highlighted in the Pirillo vlog, which I edited partially when in transit today. There were parts of where we were that had zero service, and it wasn't frustrating. I mean, because certainly we were there to look at the sites and what have you, but there were times when I really absolutely needed a data connection. For example, we set a remote alarm for the house. We have cameras. We have friends and who were helping keep an eye after the dogs in the house, and so we had to try to manage that effectively. And it was very difficult to manage, especially when we didn't have an internet connection. And I've said this before. It's not a shock. I think that, or it shouldn't be a shock to you. I think that the internet is absolutely one of those crucial parts of us. We may not need the internet to survive and breathe. You need air and food and water and shelter, but I think it's just as important. I wouldn't call it an equal importance, but almost like an emotional importance. That's I guess the category I'd place it in now. And I'm not speaking to emotional shortcomings that a lot of people on the internet seem to have. I'm speaking more to it being a part of the human condition, and it may take some rewriting. And we find that today the internet's everywhere. It's pretty much ubiquitous, or about as ubiquitous as it ever has been. But the certain parts of the internet I think are being threatened. Anonymity, privacy, our ourselves on the internet, identity, really. And these have been disparate systems forever. I hand, someone a credit card and they look at the name, they don't know if it's me. There's nothing that's tied to me as this device, this, the little credit card or whatever, saying that that's me. It's not even an extension of me. And, that's something that certain services have helped mitigate, and I think will continue to mitigate. And where it gets scary is because there's a lot of gray area in between privacy and identity and anonymity and you and your life and how you find happiness. And I would hope that the smart people of the world will continue to work on those problems, or at least work through them. It's something that has obviously changed my life. Without the web, I think I know I've been talking about the internet, but for the most part, the web is synonymous with the internet, even though they are completely different things. The web was born, and that was pretty much the thing that I would say jump-started this whole revolution. 25 years ago, it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine my life without the internet, and it's certainly impossible to imagine a career without the internet, despite technology not always working for me. Oh, but it tastes good. When they can figure out how to brew a good beer, that's good technology. Do you feel me? Maybe not physically, but do you feel me emotionally right now? Do you feel that we've got a connection, you and me? We're connected. So, other interesting bits of news that I saw. This was really earlier in the day. Microsoft has pretty much killed Office for Mac. That's not really news. But allegedly, this is scuttlebutt. Sorry. They're going to be releasing a new version of Office for Mac this year. And that would be nice. I use OS X on the desktop. The only reason I ever fire up Office is to open up a document and then print it out, usually. I deal in PDFs and on Google Drive. Google is my Office suite. Although, I recently upgraded. I use Exchange for email services. And I've recently upgraded to the latest version of Exchange, and it is nice. On mobile, on the desktop, web version, fantastic. Although I'm not completely sold on it, it is beautiful. I don't know if they've really licked usability yet. Microsoft licking usability. There you go. How's that for a visual? So it'll be nice to see them update Office for Mac. It means certainly if you have an Office 365 subscription, you would be able to get that as well. I don't know. I don't have an Office 365 subscription. To me, if Office 365 was $20 a year, I'd consider it. I would. I'm telling Microsoft, I would consider it. That's what I would value Office 365 at. And the software and the services and everything, $20 a year for my use model. That's it. Because Google Drive doesn't cost me anything. So what would it take for me to get Microsoft or to use Microsoft services? $20. There you go, Microsoft. Knock yourself out. Speaking of $20, Cree, they have manufactured LED light bulbs. In fact, not the bulbs in my office. These are different bulbs. I think they're Philips. Many of the bulbs in our house are Cree. From floodlights. I don't know if we do have a couple of Cree traditional bulbs, the ones that look like the incandescent bulbs. I went with Cree because they were affordable and they had good ratings, and the floodlights are fantastic. I love the floodlights. We replaced some CFLs, which would take forever to warm up. And, of course, the value of LEDs is that the instant on will last a while, and, of course, the energy savings as well. Cree has introduced a 100-watt replacement bulb now at $20. And we've seen LEDs out there for, the 40-watt equivalent, the 60-watt equivalent, 75 maybe, 100, yeah. Bits, here and there. The problem with 100-watt equivalents on LEDs is that they are usually pretty pricey. But $20 isn't really that much to spend for that kind of bulb. It's going to last a while. It's going to save you energy. It's going to be bright. It's instant on. It's going to be very difficult to topple LED. And at some point in the incredibly near future, in fact, if it hasn't happened already, I'd be surprised, incandescents are going away. Like all those with a filament and everything. That's old news. LEDs are absolutely going to replace them. It's just a matter of time. CFLs were a stopgap, and CFLs are not as friendly. Might be a good word to use. If you ever break a CFL bulb around you, you never wash it clean, sterilize it because there's mercury inside. That's not good, by the way. Your body is probably not mercury compatible. If you were thinking about jumping onto the LED bandwagon, I just learned that they just released the 100-watt replacements. I don't have one yet, but I do have a lot of Crees inside of our house and like them. They've been working quite well to this point. And $20 is hard to pass up for a 100-watt equivalent. The thing you got to be careful about with LED bulbs, and I wasn't expecting to talk so much about LED bulbs tonight, but it's really true. You got to be careful about sticking them in enclosures. LED bulbs do not dissipate heat as the same as CFLs might, or certainly incandescent or classic bulbs with a filament. The issue then comes in shortened lifespan, potentially a fire hazard. So if you buy an LED bulb for an enclosed space, like a little light fixture, just make sure that it's compatible with enclosed spaces, and there are bulbs that are compatible. I would expect that shortcoming, it would eventually be addressed because we have so many enclosures out there, and LED bulbs are kind of coming out in full force at this stage. Hole in WhatsApp, which millions of people apparently use, for Android lets hackers steal your conversations. So, if you have WhatsApp and you use Android, okay, just watch out for a bug fix. One of the first things that I did after the acquisition, WhatsApp bought out by Facebook, I did some searching for security in relation to WhatsApp, and what I found was a veritable minefield. I did not rush to sign up for a WhatsApp account, if only because the security of WhatsApp has been in question for quite some time. So if you don't need WhatsApp, I don't know if I'd necessarily go as far as to recommend it right now, even with Facebook owning it. I know some people are like freaking out, oh, Facebook, privacy, well, yeah, Facebook doesn't exactly have a perfect track record when it comes to, your own privacy, of course. I would argue that you shouldn't be posting things to the internet privately that you didn't expect the whole world would eventually see. Still, that I would say is a pretty potentially a large violation for those of you running WhatsApp for Android, or if you're not running WhatsApp at all. My recommendation is just wait if you can. Tetris is apparently going to be played on a skyscraper in Philadelphia, 7 p.m. on April 4th, on both sides of a 29-story building. It's called Sierra Center. Now, I'm not from Philadelphia. I don't live anywhere near it. I've been to Pittsburgh, but I don't think I made it as far as... Philadelphia. Philadelphia's... It's late. Philadelphia. That's a city. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? Right? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? I'm just making sure Dad doesn't care.
Pittsburgh, Missouri.
I know that. Fine, Pittsburgh, Missouri. I'm not talking about that. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The state is Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
For what?
Philadelphia,
Oh, yeah.
city. The Phillies, right? Philadelphia. Philadelphia. The song by Neil Young. Philadelphia. Go Phillies. I've warned people I'm a little tired here, and geography was definitely not my strong suit. So April 4th at 7 p.m. If you guys can get down there, that'd be cool. You have a chance to see Tetris played out on a skyscraper. That'd be so cool to see in real life, in person. Catch video if you can. Send it along. I'm sure it'll be covered on every news outlet, but I will not be making it, nor will I try to make it to Philadelphia for that, which is a city, not a state. I don't know. I think when I was younger, I think I confused the two because they were really long and began with a P. What? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They're really long. For a kid from Iowa, you only had to memorize 4 letters. And still, even Iowa, some people screw us up with Ohio.
Yeah, so
or Idaho, because they both begin with an I. All right. Next bit of news. Apple is dropping its 30-day return policy on iPhones down from 30 days to 14 days.
Oh, really?
This could mean a few things. They obviously made the decision for a reason. Maybe they were seeing a lot of returns happening. Maybe that dropped off. The customer dissatisfaction dropped off after 14 days, and they just tightened it up a bit. I don't think it signals anything negative. I haven't thought about it too deeply. But maybe they're just trying to cut down on buyer's remorse. Some people may have purchased an Apple product and realize it doesn't work. And I think if you can't get a product to work within 14 days, I think it's safe to assume it's probably not going to work, and you could return it. 30 days is a nice cushion for people, but I think you would probably know whether or not the product was going to work in 14 days or not. So just something to be aware of. Moving forward, if you buy Apple products, 14 days is going to be the return policy for iPhones specifically at this stage. OneNote for Mac is coming later this month, according to a rumor, and if you are an Evernote fan, you probably do not care. OneNote, I gotta tell you, just to give you a bit more context, I'm not a OneNote user, nor am I an Evernote user, but when the tablet PC was all the rage by, the 14 fans that it had, the one program on the Windows platform for a tablet PC that everyone loved was OneNote. And I'd see it, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool, but I just didn't see myself using that particular application. But the killer app for the tablet PC was OneNote. And, it, of course, for years existed only on the Windows platform. Microsoft eventually ported it to iOS, and it has been that way for a few years now. It's not officially a part of the Office suite, or at least they're planning on removing it from the official Office suite, which I think is just fine. But that will likely be coming real soon, according to reports. And I would expect to see Microsoft stepping up its game in terms of releasing more software on a regular basis for more than just one platform. If you did not catch the news, and really, if you didn't, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. We launched the LockerGnome shop a couple weeks ago or so, and at the LockerGnome shop, You can buy all sorts of geeky hoodies and geeky products. See, you could buy geeky stuff anywhere and everywhere. In fact, you probably have, right? You walk into a store, you buy something, you feel like a geek. Or maybe you go to an e-tailer, an online store that you've known for years and that has a great brand. That's awesome. What I'm telling you is that I have something called a Pirillo Promise, and no one else has that. And that is telling you that you can trust me. I'm only going to be providing products that I think are awesome, that if you wear them, because we sell things that you wouldn't necessarily wear, like money clips. You can't wear money clips. You just can't. You could, but I'm not going to be responsible for the stares that you get. But everything that you wear is going to be comfortable. You know, if you watch a Pirillo vlog, you know I believe in comfort first and everything else a distant second. If I cannot be comfortable in the clothes, should I do the rest of the broadcast like this? Should I?
Yeah.
Diana said I should. If you can't be comfortable in your clothes, I mean, what's the point, really? So, this is kind of a different direction for LockerGnome to take, this business I've been running for quite some time. And I think we've got a chance. If you want to get some geeky products, just take a look at what we have. We're going to be adding more inventory as time goes on. Consider it. We've already had quite a few purchases come through. We'll be featuring those people too. The nice thing is if you get something through me and you wear it or whatever, and you have it around you, you take that picture, I'll put it out there. I'll share it with the world. I'd be happy to consider you a part of that particular crowd. So don't even sweat it. Really, just do it. Shop.lockergnome.com. United Airlines is introducing iOS exclusive in-flight movie service in April. So if you have an iOS device and you fly United, well, that's good. If you don't, well, I wouldn't say it's not good. It's just awkward. Pretty neat. I would say it's one hell of a relationship. I would be very disappointed, however, if I was an Android user only. I am an Android user. Hang on. Let me see if I can feel for the right device. I usually tell which device I can grab just by its feel. Do I still have power? Wow, man. This thing had power like 2 days ago, and I didn't even touch it. All right, well, fine. I'll boot up the Note 3 later. Been waiting for the KitKat update to be pushed out by T-Mobile here soon, and it hasn't happened yet. So that's just some news if you're a United and iOS user. VLC is now available for Windows 8, but no support for the Surface 2 is there. So, sorry, all you Surface 2 fans. It's not going to happen. At least in the immediate future. VLC, I would say, is one of my favorites media players on OS X. And it's been that way for quite some time, if only because it just works. It's easy. They're constantly updating or iterating. I don't use it for every bit of media playback, but certainly for classic video files that I don't have an associated player for, VLC definitely works like a champ. And that's, just been in my experiences. You may like VLC, you may like, another media player, but it's free. Give it a shot. It works on iOS exceedingly well. And speaking of iOS, Apple TV Update 6.1 apparently has allowed for AirPlay discoverability to happen over Bluetooth. I'm a huge AirPlay fan. It's one of the reasons why I love iOS devices, Apple devices, because I could go here, swipe up from the menu. I could even done it from the lock screen, gone to AirPlay, and then beam whatever's on my screen up to one of these devices over AirPlay, like my bedroom Apple TV, home office, or now workshop Apple TV. Any Apple TV that I have, I could basically interoperate with AirPlay. So now they've made it easier to connect your iOS device to an Apple TV, so long as your iOS device is running iOS 7.1 and higher, and your Apple TV running the latest update 6.1 and higher. And now you can also disable or hide apps from the home screen, which is a feature long overdue with the Apple TV. I mean, it's $99. It's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. And if you have an iOS device, to me, if you have an iPhone or an iPad or an iPod Touch, an Apple TV is compulsory. It's not even it has to be there. It's been awesome in terms of what role it plays specifically with AirPlay. What they did was just, with this update specifically with Bluetooth discoverability, is remove the possibility of bonjour getting in the way. That sounded horrible. I'm not French. Bonjour. 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 I don't really know how to say it correctly. So this would, be a big boon for people out there who have to deal with network administrators who are very, very strict, like school teachers. If they wanted to use their iOS device in the Apple TV as a presentation mechanism, they wouldn't have to go through the network administrator to basically open up Bonjour services to be able to get that communication to happen. So fantastic little update, kind of hidden under the hood. Very, very glad to see it. Now, Sony is apparently going to be revealing their VR technology at GDC. I do not know if I'm going to be able to see it. I will do my best. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I'm going to be in and out. It's going to be a quick trip. In fact, my parents are still going to be here watching the dogs in the house. Just make sure that Wicket doesn't jump over any kind of gates or fences while we're gone. He has the propensity to do this. I didn't realize that until today. So really, that was about all that I saw today that I thought was interesting enough to share with everybody, or to at least talk about ever so briefly. Thank you for supporting the things that I'm doing, and appreciating the fact that I did this at 11 p.m. instead of going to bed, which I'm ready for. I am very, very happy to have your support. Thank you for watching all the way through the video. What the hell did I put in my mouth? I can't see anything in this thing. I can see through these. Can you see my eye through there? My eye's in there, but I can't see down. Anyway, thanks for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course watch even more of my videos right now. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.